Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this fine, what day is it? Thursday. On this fine Thursday, wherever you are, hope you're well. It's another members show. It's quite a sunny day in Lincoln. Nothing to moan about. I was just dancing away because that song that's on that intro really reminds me of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. There's a bit of music in that and it reminded me of that, so I was jigging away. Yes, it's a member show. Yes, if you're a member, you can come on and have your say. And the link is in the community section, but there's only can be a maximum of 10 on screen at a time. And I ask that you have your camera on if you haven't been on before, so I know you're not some crazy person. But I have got two people backstage. They're actually regulars, or should I say irregulars, to the channel, because we've got Jimbo and we've got Ellie.
Yay!
How are you both?
Good, thank you. And you, Ellie?
Yeah, really well. I just finished the promos, so I have finished the main promos, but I want to get it out to the other ones as well later on. That takes time. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Ellie.
To help my Kate.
I know, and you've done a grand job. They're looking lovely.
Thank you. I look like Hoybier, didn't I?
Queen Ellie Hoybier is back with her man.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's have a little look who's in the chat before we get started. We've got Rodders in the chat. He says, greetings from the Gummy Bear Bunch, just noticed. Yeah, I had to think up names for the membership, so it had to be something to do with sweets, of course.
Yeah.
Morning to you, Tigaro. Hope you are doing well. Big up, Benny. Hope you're well. Hi, Kate, Ellie and Jimbo says the Belgium Hotspur.
Belgium Hotspur.
Yeah, I hope you're well. Belgium. Yeah. I love Belgium chocolate. Oh, man.
I love the Belle from Belgium.
Yeah, and him. But do you know what? If I lived in Belgium, I'd probably be about 50 stone because their chocolate is just the best. Afternoon, Andrew Gregory. Hope you're doing well. Ben says he's just finishing a sarnie, then it's Uncle Jimbo time. What have you got in your sarnie, Ben?
He's not giving you any kudos. He's saying it's Uncle Jimbo time.
That's the way. I'm like chopped liver, Ellie. You know me. Bit of chopped liver. Yeah. Belgium Hotspur says, Ellie, I think you may well see Pierre-Emile Hoybier start next game.
I don't want him to start. We lose when he starts. I want him to come off the bench.
Fair enough. Good morning to Ian Ferguson. The cough has joined us. Big up, Benny. You well?
I'm alive.
That's all we can ask for.
Just went for a sarnie, so now it's good. It's Jimbo time.
Jimbo time indeed. I'm just the chopped liver in the top corner.
Yeah, I'm chopped liver as well.
Well, saying that, Kate, chopped liver is very desirable in this day of age.
Yeah. I love liver. I love it. I've got some in the freezer. I love it. And I have to eat it because I'm anemic. So
if you pass to a bit of bacon, if you allowed it,
Jimbo, you're muted.
Bacon and onions in as well.
Yeah, lovely,
lovely.
I said we watched Brewing Bollocks this morning, and it was funny.
We did.
Was Brewing Bollocks at least decent?
It was very good.
Yeah.
Big up to Tracy MUFC. Good to see you today. And Chrysandro, nice to see you. We're well, thank you. Big up Eugene. Good to see you. Dave H 1960. Good afternoon to you. Mark CFC. Big up to you. And Ian says, I love liver when it stays in my body. Fair enough. Say no more. Got a couple of things I thought we'd talk about today. You know, I do like to be led by others. So is there anyone who wants to talk about anything particular before I start? Benny, anything on your mind? No. Ellie, anything on your mind?
Yeah, Hoybier.
I think Ellie needs to stand by her man. She says she doesn't want her man on the pitch. Ellie. This is
Yeah.
an intervention
No,
with
I
your,
don't. I don't.
with, your
Because
with
as
three
Mia,
of your closest people.
yeah, I don't because as
Stand
Mia,
by your man, Ellie. He should be playing every game.
yeah, but the thing
Stand
is,
by your man.
he would play every game if he could move those hips. But as Mia pointed out, every game he started, we've lost, so it's not good. Well, he's
Yeah,
got to
that's
be off
true.
the bench.
I
That's
think
true.
I don't want him to. I don't
certain
want him to
games
get
suit him
even
more.
more grief.
Yeah.
Although I am not someone who is the biggest fan of Højbjerg, he has got his attributes that suit him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think if we played with a more traditional number 6 and using him as an interceptor, which he's really good at, rather than someone... It's like when AVB took over. He started thinking Scott Parker is like a progressive midfielder, and that's why Scott Parker started doing the 360s like Harry Winks used to do.
Yeah.
And Scott Parker was a fantastic player for us. And then he was asked to do a role that he wasn't comfortable with. And as much as I don't like Højbjerg, for example, that game against Marseille, he won us the game. Like his progression of the ball and his doggedness on a football field took us through a massive game of football. And there is room for him on that.
Better than myself.
If you play him in a position that suits him, I think he can do his bit.
Yeah, and his passing game is one of the best in the league, because you look at his passing stats over the last 3 years he's been with us, they're absolutely fabulous. And I don't care what anybody says.
Hi, Kuba.
Hi, Leo.
I'm standing by my man, Ben.
Hi, Leo.
There's another man in my life, Kuba. Yeah, go on, Kuba Bear.
Chang, sorry you can't come on today, but good to see you in the chat. I'm sure you'll be. Well, we'll see you on Monday anyway. I'm not sure we're going to talk about Monday, but we'll find something. Big up, Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Ian Ferguson says the first season Pierre was here, he was an absolute boss in the midfield. That first season, I had him down as being our captain.
Yeah, he's only 25 then.
Yeah.
A lot younger, isn't it? He's 28 now, so he's getting on a bit.
Big up Destiny, big up Rinketic. Seriously, our midfield is doing that pants. We're now championing a midfielder we wanted out of this club for the last 12 months. Seriously. Yeah.
I still want him out of the club, but you have to give players the props when they have them. So Emerson Royale's an absolutely horrific footballer, but his TikTok video is great.
Yeah, I'm not championing him. I'm just saying that he's good at certain things, but he's bad at other things. But he doesn't suit the system, so he's going to go anyway.
Can we get Højbjerg?
I love him, but you know.
What would you guys think about someone like Basuma? Because I don't think Basuma fits the system either.
No,
yeah, look, that was one of my talking points.
Oh,
it's like we're synced, Kate.
We are. We're at the same level.
I do not think Basuma fits the system that we're trying to get him to play. He's not a number 6. He's not disciplined enough to be a number 6.
No.
Although Ange does say himself, I do not believe in set player roles. He wants his players to be a bit more fluid for where they go, which is a great feeling. It's more that sort of Ajax-y thing of total football. Any player can play in any position, which Kuvra champions quite a lot. He would like us to go to more of that Ajax system. In football, unless you buy players that from that particular style, you're not going to get that. So you do have to have, I'm going to be the best at this position, and then I can make everyone else better. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah. I mean, Kuvra, I'll bring you in first. What are your thoughts on Basuma? And hello, nice to see you, even though you're a mean, nasty boy.
Got to say, I am really, really unhappy with things at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. It's cleared up. I feel all right now. See you later.
You're funny. Oh, he's gone.
He drops that bombshell and leaves. He's like, drops the mic and he's gone. Jimbo, what do you think about Basuma?
Where's Cooper gone?
I don't know.
He's gone to the abyss for all the weird boys.
I don't know, Kate. I want the Basuma back we had in the first 10 games.
Yeah.
If we can get him back, then all well and good. But I don't like the Basuma at the minute. That's it. I mean, he's got it in his locker, but can we get it back?
But is he playing in his right position, Jimbo? Do you think? Would you persist in playing Basuma as a number 6 when all of us know that Basuma we bought at Brighton, and Ellie will talk about this as well because she's watched him as well. He was the guy that would get the ball and drive forward with it, because when he drives forward, he's got a very low centre of gravity. He's got that sort of languidy style. He's very difficult to get off that ball, a bit like a Moussa Dembele was.
Yeah, he needs to do more of that.
He's not that Michael Carrick style player that likes to patrol an area and control that area. He's a bit of a fluid player. So maybe if he is galloping forward with the ball, maybe he would be better.
Yeah, you and I have been saying that for weeks and weeks. Since when he was playing in the beginning of the season, guys, he was playing more forward and he was driving with the ball, and he's fantastic at that. When you press Basuma, he panics.
Yeah.
Right, and he's not used to that role, deep lying. It'd be better to be Bentancur there rather than him.
Yeah. Big up Martin Knightsbridge, the Tottenham fan with the best wall on the planet. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Good.
Everyone
is
all
the
right?
wall, all right. Is the wall okay?
Yeah, he's looking
Yeah, the wall's fine.
It's great wall.
It's such a lovely wall.
I need to up my wall game.
Yeah, you do. Martin, what's your thoughts on Basuma? Well, that says it all. You don't need to say nothing else.
The first 10 games, whatever, or until we got that sending off, the stupidity dive thing, he was great. And we all thought we got this new signing that we'd never seen. And it's like, wow, what didn't Conte see? Blah, blah, blah. And then reverts to type and it just goes missing. I hear some people say he does so much and he controls the middle and his short parts. I'm not seeing it. I don't know whether we look through different lenses, but I don't want someone now to stand in the middle and do a 5-yard pass. I can do that. I ain't got to run nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Stand there and do it. But you want someone to control it, have that and have the vision and do this, to put them players in place. No, but anyone can just kick it right or left. We might as well Dyer back for that. Do you know what I mean?
Or Harry Winks.
Yeah.
I would say to you, Martin, I totally
He's a bit
agree
more forward-minded. He tries a bit.
You come from the same level of cloth that we want to see the play of the pitch expanded, which means longer passes into accurate positions. The problem is the way we're playing football at the moment, and I'm not blaming Andres, it's the players he's got at his disposal.
You go all the time, Ben, and you can see it. I've been twice this year, and both times I've been behind the goal, so you can see it's just everything's so narrow. You want someone to push him out, but he just sits there and looks and goes 5 yards, and then that's it. My job's done.
But that's the problem with.
I want more from him.
Until we've got two wingers that play not inverted and hug those touch lines. We've got to be playing with
all the blame on him if he's not there.
That stretch the field of play, because the play is so narrow. We're having to do 5-6 yard passes, which means it's really easy for the opposing team to get back into a mid block and stop us from passing forward because we're too narrow.
Yeah, but then don't you think a good midfield general, as they used to be called, would stand there and demand it and tell them, like, you go there, but they all just seem to be happy, cuddly. Let's all do it together.
I think it's down to the coach. The coach needs to be barking instructions to his midfield general.
Just that's it. Just say this is your job. Because at the beginning, that's what he did. He took him under his wing, and Biss went, and he was there. And then all of a sudden, that's just gone from his game.
If
he didn't do it, we will be sitting there saying, no, get rid of him. But because we've seen he can do it, and now we're not seeing it, that's where the frustration comes from, I think.
Do you know what it is as well, right? They lose discipline within the system that Andrew's trying to play. Their discipline is not as peak as Andrew wants it, and you can see he's frustrated on the side. So regardless if we expand the play or play with the inverted fullbacks, because he's come to think about it, he's not going to change his philosophy. He won't. He's stubborn like that. He wants to keep it. So we'll have to get used to it. But the wingers have to remember to stretch the play, right? So they go inverted. The midfielders push up, all right? And then we expand the play that way. And accurate passing is very vital to Angie's system, and our passing's been woeful, really bad.
Did you see
I think
Mark's
that's what they
comment?
do. The short.
Sorry, I was going to say, Mark CFC said, would you guys play a 6 with 2 8s, like having Pierre and Sarr and Biss, so they can do the running and have a 3 of Mads left, Kulu right, then they can roam and Son up top, or is that a bad idea?
Well, it's a good idea.
That's a
but he
complete
won't
shift
play it.
around.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's a good idea, but he won't play it.
No, of course he won't.
It's
He's
just
quite
like,
stubborn.
I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want to see Maddison in a non-free role, and having him as that left winger would force him to be on one part of the pitch only. When Maddison has to be that guy that's gluing things together.
Yeah.
him and Biss in that first 10 games, say 7 games, because a three he was okay, but 7 games he was really, really good. And they were linking up so well, but Basuma was playing more forward and Sarr was the one doing all the mop-up work,
Yeah.
which works. It does
Yeah.
work.
I mean,
But he was getting the ball, doing backflips, like 5 turns and running through 4 or 5 people. We're just not seeing it. That, innit?
yeah. I mean, me personally, I'd happily sell him in the summer. I don't think he's good enough. I want to bring in someone like a Zubamendi for our midfield, a real strong defensive midfielder, but we're talking 50 million and I can't see it happening myself.
There is
Yeah, Brennan Johnson.
the
Oh, we
rumours are
paid
getting
50
stronger
million
though,
to
Kate.
Tottenham.
Apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, the Oracle, apparently Tottenham will surprise people with their midfield signing. So don't be surprised if Tottenham do spend big on a midfielder, because that is the main issue with the team, that
Yeah.
we can't link defence to attack. That is the main
Yeah.
issue. And we if we were going to spend money, big money, a midfielder would be a good idea. Someone that can be a bit of a Declan Rice figure, for example, at an Arsenal. Someone that's going to make
Exactly.
everyone else better.
See,
This is
Arsenal
it.
were linked to Zubamendi, but I don't understand why they'd buy him when they've already bought Rice. I don't see that happening.
And we can't have it.
Yeah, so we can't have him. Yeah, the
They want
dirty
him as a
swines.
substitute for Rice.
Arsenal want to break the duck of being of not winning the Champions League. They want to win the Champions League, and to win the Champions League, you need a big squad. You have to. You have to
Yeah.
rotate. You can't have injuries, and that's one thing they've done really well over there. Is that even back to the days when I was in high school, they had Gary Lewin in charge of their medical team. They've always had at Arsenal the best of the best of the best as the head of their medical team. Whereas we get some numpty down the pub to do it. I'll do it, mate. I'll finish my can of Stella and I'll do the medical team. I'll give them a
my
massage.
God. That doesn't paint a pretty picture.
No, it don't. It's true, isn't it, Ellie? We've
I
never.
know.
It's true that Arsenal,
know.
in particular, have always had a good medical team, and that's something we need to invest in.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody
yeah, I
got
mean,
any
the-
doctors in the family?
The news broke, I think, yesterday and today. I've seen it in 2 lots that Tottenham will be signing Timo Werner permanently on the condition that we qualify for the Champions League.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's true. I
Why
don't
is
really
that
see
on his shoulders?
what was that, Martin? Sorry.
Why have they put that on his shoulders? Like, you can stay if you get a Champions League.
I know.
Like,
It's terrible.
we should
isn't
be
it,
only
really?
there anyway. It's not, his deal shouldn't be dependent on 4th or 5th. That's crazy. You either want him or you don't. At 15 million, it's not a case of money. It's a case of, do you want him? Does he work? Does it? Not, if we get Champions League, what does that mean? So if we get Europa, we're skimping buying no one.
Yeah.
He's already won the Champions League with Chelsea. Don't be greedy.
The thing is, as well, it's not like he's a marquee signing where we need the money
No.
from the Champions League to buy him. He's cheap as chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 15 million quid, you couldn't even get a youth player for that.
No,
That's the Cole Palmer in that game, 45, 50 million, paid like 100 minutes.
yeah.
No.
I mean, what would you think, Martin, if we sign him? What's your view? I know it's early days, but you know he's had a couple of assists and a couple of goals. What do you think?
I think he's a decent squad player. I ain't going to put him up there. It might be saying last 10, 15 minutes changes his game. He's not a starter for me. He's not what we need, but he's just something different when what we have got ain't working, and it might. But at 15 million, I'm not one to preach about the money, so I don't really care about it. But 15 million, I just think, we give that to Jose Mourinho to go before the cup final. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to them.
Yeah.
It's a payoff money. It is. So I don't want to make it about money, but
Oh, you
just
definitely
don't
don't want to make it about
tight.
money.
It's got a
The
bit of
way I
cash
think
to
complaining
stretch it.
recently, Martin. You don't want to make it about money.
I don't want to make it about money because I'm not one of them. But I just can't see from their point of view at 15 million why he's hanging. It's dependent on whether we get the Champions League or not.
Yeah.
It's
AJ,
a silly
I
thing.
hope you're well and doing
Yeah,
good.
AJ.
I think I've asked you this before, but obviously we're a few weeks later now. What do you think on this whole, we're signed Timo Werner if we get the Champions League, and do you think it's a good buy?
Yeah, morning everybody. Yeah,
Morning.
not bad. I think it's a stupid thing to come out and say we've said he can stay if. Like,
Yeah.
if he's good enough, if you deem him good enough, just say you're going to make it permanent, or shut your mouth and wait until the end of the season and make the deal permanent. What purpose does that declaration serve?
Yeah.
What purpose? That the player can't be happy with it. The
Yeah.
fans are like, okay, well, if you're not definitely going to sign him, you're not definitely confident we can qualify. So it's very up in the air. But personally, I would say keep him. I think this is what surprises me about people, certain people that have been very, very dismissive of Timo Werner and similar players. They tell you these players are terrible. They tell you these players are absolutely awful. Don't expect anything from these people. Then if these people don't perform, they slag these people off. But you've just told everyone, don't expect anything from them. So how can you be annoyed that they're doing exactly what you've said they're going to do?
True.
Yeah.
So it has been eight appearances, 4 goal contributions, and he's come on as a sub 3 times. He's only played over 80 minutes 4 times. That, to me, granted, I'm not a world famous coach. I haven't led training sessions, but I have played the game in many different formats. I understand what makes a good player, what doesn't, and what players are worth a gamble. And for me, 15 million for an experienced player who has looked more exciting than any of our front, and I do mean any of our front line this season, I'd say keep him.
Yeah. I'm on the same boat as you. AJ, sorry, I forgot your name for a minute there. Jimbo, what do you think about Timo? Jimbo.
Yeah, I'd keep him. I like him. I think that he brings, when he comes on, he livened the game up the other day. I just think give him this season. I think he'll be all right. He hasn't played a lot of football, has he? This is his first season for a while that he's been playing regular. And I just think that it's a no-brainer to keep him. And I know people are going to say, well, we ain't going to go nowhere with him, but he's a good backup player to bring on. And I just think it's a no-brainer to bring him.
Hey.
Hi, Leo!
Hi, homies.
It was just
Hi, Kuba.
I am this.
Hi, Kuva.
Leo, you're obviously on your way to work.
Yeah, I just pulled up, so I tried to find the best spot that gets the best reception, so I could hop on and first say what's up to all the homies. It's been a minute since I said what's up to all the homies. So what's up to you guys? Hi, homies. But look, I just wanted to come on and really say that why I don't understand some of our homies that are and I'm not gonna point anybody out directly, but like some people are Ange out already or are getting frustrated or are just they're deterred from the way we've been going because of such a flying start. And I just feel like we need to just chill. We need to just give this man his time. He's making some really good soup out of some rocks, right?
Yeah.
If I'm honest with you, he's doing like excellent work with a lot of dross is the word that a lot of people were using for our players, right? And I just feel like some people are just really, really thin-skinned and get offended easily and quit easily, and we shouldn't be like that as a Spurs fans base. As a fan base, we shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't give up right away. We shouldn't want to win, just to win. Like Ange said, it's gonna take time, you guys. But when we win, it's gonna make it even that much better.
Yeah, do you know what? That was another one of my topics. You guys are you're reading my mind. I think the reaction against the whole Fulham loss has been unbelievable. You would think we were sitting in 18th position the way the fan base, well, not all the fan base, some of the fan base have reacted. I remember at the start of the season, everyone was like, this is a free hit for Ange. We just want to see good attacking football and progress, and there's no pressure on him. And now all of a sudden there's like people mumbling, they're losing their faith in Ange. Cougar Bear, what are your feelings on it all? Because you're Mr. Positive.
Not when it comes to Timo Werner, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I didn't ask you that question, because I know what you're going to say.
Well, no, this is a general thing. It's not just Timo Werner, though. I mean, just in general, our transfer policy over the last few years has been such that we're reluctant to spend out big on quality big name players. We'll go for some desperate last minute marquee signings that may or may not work out. Generally, tend not to. And then we filled the squad out with absolute mediocrity, dross, as we call it, deadwood, whatever you like. We've now started to actually shift some of it out. And now we're looking at making permanent signings out of more to refill the deadwood. We're not looking at Timo Werner. Even people that are trying to big up Timo Werner are saying he's a squad player. They're not saying, yeah, this is somebody who's going to improve our first team. Why are we doing this again? We're going to put ourselves back in exactly the same position. Timo Werner on the books, massive wages. No other club's going to want him. If he'd gone anywhere else, we would be making fun of that club for having him. If he'd gone to Arsenal, we were saying desperation move, unbelievably funny. But because he's come to us, we have this. In some ways, it's good that the fan base does want to big up our players, but in some ways, it holds us back at the same time because some of these players are being made out to be really good when they're not. Timo Werner is just absolute shit that can run really quick. That's it. So, but all the people bigging him up will be dragging out any stat possible to try and justify him. It's just not good. That's all there is to it. If he was so good, why is he going for 15 million?
That's like him.
Well, you can like him, but I mean, get him to sell you ice creams, not play football.
One thing I do, kind of how Kuva kind of alluded to, is we kind of came to believe we were going to be title contenders. And don't get me wrong, it was an excellent run while we were on it, right? And I'll say this now that Jimbo's off screen, like, there were some people that rode the train a little too long, and it's okay. Like, that's what it's about. Like, it's all good. Like, I would prefer people ride the train longer than to hop off it right away and want to just, like, ditch the whole plan. What's up, Jimbo? How we doing?
Hi, Jimbo.
Well, but I'm just like, it was a free hit this season, right? Let's all be honest with it. Let's all be honest with ourselves. It was a season this season where we were going to have an opportunity to experiment, to see what we were really going to look under what we were going to look like under Ange. And the minute we became really good, right, and we were getting good results, and I would say up until the Chelsea game, when a lot of us felt like, we got kicked in the nuts that game, it all changed then. And I don't know if it's like a narrative or if it was just like we just got off to a flying start where now we feel like we're obligated to get top 4, right? And I don't feel like that's necessarily the truth. Like, we're not obligated for anything. We can honestly lose the rest of our games and be mid-table or even, down at the bottom. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's possible. So I just feel like we are way above the curve right now that I would have set for our team at the beginning of the season. And honestly, like, this is always going to be stumbling blocks in the process. And in any artwork, there's always times where they have to, erase what they did and start over again. Or, the Mona Lisa was painted over a couple of times until they got the product that we see now, so you can't just expect everything to be happen, in one season. It might not even happen next season, my homies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It might not even happen under Ange, but blueprint and the footprint is there. Right, and that's what, like, that to me is like what makes me feel better. Last season, had we lost 3-0 to Fulham, I'm free. This Yeti Cup, I would have thrown it because I'd have been so mad, you know. But now it's
that's my point. That's going to be one of my points, Leo. I think if we had lost 3-0 last month, I think people would be rather chill about it. But because of all the bad news of the week in regards to the football club entirely, I think that was the oil fire, because they've seen, prices are increasing, this is increasing, concessions for old people. All that bad news has woken up the people that are already, okay, we're going to let Ange do his thing and let's see how the football club progresses under this manager. Because of all the bad news that's starting to come out from the walls of the club, that's caused the oil fire. If we'd have lost 3-0 to Fulham like that last month, I think people would be a lot more chill about it. It's the football club is its own living organism. So having a little spark like that can trigger a massive fire when you have these little dominoes that are starting to fall that people are not happy about, especially because the majority of the people that do go to the away games are those fans that are getting affected by the concessions, the ticket prices. I don't want to bring it onto this, but it's the spark that causes the oil fire.
Okay, we're 4 points better off than we was last year at this point with 10 games left. So there's no big panic, is there?
No, I'm not panicking, but there has been a massive reaction to it. You would think we were like in relegation form, the way the fan base have gone, or some of the fan base. I mean, Daniel said, I wanted to say, just in case they're watching, they said they would be Ange out if we get Werner. Well, I didn't see the same energy for Conte when we got Richie. Hypocrites. So there you go.
The Guardians of the Pombo, Kate. The Guardians of the Pombo.
What's that? What?
They're all Guardians of the Pombo.
What's that?
It's the Richarlison fan club.
Oh.
Big up the Guardians of the Pombo.
I've never heard that statement before.
That's what they call. That's what Emerson was referring to. He referred to him as Pombo or something like that in his interview just recently, didn't he? My homies, I do got to run because my workers here are probably wondering what the hell I'm doing just sitting here streaming with you guys. But big up to all you guys. A huge hug to each one of you guys. And come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Leo.
Have a good day, Leo.
The future is bright. The future is lily white. Honestly, you guys.
See you later, Leo.
Bye.
Big up Bob Everett, the only one who can get away with calling us trophy dodgers. Good to see you. It's not about being chilled over a 3-0 loss. No one likes to lose, particularly in that manner. But I still think that the actual overreaction has been unbelievable. AJ, I'll come to you. What do you think about how the fan base have reacted to the loss at the weekend?
With any true fan, any fan that genuinely loves and supports the club, any loss is going to hurt. Okay, there's variations of it depending on what the competition and what's riding on that game, but a loss still hurts. However, from every stream I've seen, from the appointment of Ange up until, the Fulham game, everybody was adamant that Ange almost gets a free hit, that it's a process. We are going to expect to get beaten. A lot of fans were saying we're going to get beaten week in, week out, heavy losses, with the exception of the Chelsea game where we went down to 9. It's our worst defeat of the season. Mm-hmm. And how can you use the same energy to say he gets a free hit, he's building a squad, let him cook, let him do whatever he's doing, and then some people actually saying Ange out? That's ludicrous. If you think that you're entitled to your opinion, but for me, in my opinion, that is incredibly stupid. To go from you get a free hit, you're building this as a process, to we've lost 3-0 to a team. To be fair to Fulham can play. They've gone toe-to-toe with some of the big boys. They've beaten some of the big boys. They're a good footballing team when they're on it. and we weren't on it. Watch the game back. Anybody that can watch that game and say, technically we were better, we showed any fight. They outplayed us from start to finish. They were on it, we weren't. As bad as we were, they were as good.
Yeah.
I came back from that game, 3-0 loss, not happy. But guess what? It's a process. He's been here 8 months. We lost Harry Kane, the best striker in the world. He's got a handful of new players implementing a new system. What are people genuinely expecting? What do they want? Us to win every game? Us to win every trophy? To me, it's been a massive, massive, massive over the top. End of the world is coming because we lost to a team that on the day performed and we didn't.
Would you possibly agree with me, AJ, that maybe the result, the overreaction, it might not even be caused by the game, it's caused by the stuff around the football club has created that ready to explode, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, and the team has taken the brunt of the reaction from the fans because the fans are not happy with the club itself.
I agree with you to an extent. I think it has added to it. It's definitely not helped the situation. You can't piss on someone and tell them it's raining, and that seems to be what's going on quite often with our club.
I like that one.
I've never heard that before.
But no, I agree, but I do think it's mostly down to the football. I think because we've been performing, especially after smashing Villa, and we took Villa apart, no excuses of, they were down to 10. The fact is, we still outplayed them, and Villa are a good team. We still outplayed them and scored 2 goals with a full complement of players. After such a good display, to then turn in the dross that we saw against Fulham, I think that has riled the fans, with other things contributing. But yeah, in my opinion, it's just been absolutely over the top.
Yeah. Martin, do you agree? Sorry, Coos, go on.
I was just going to quickly chip in with something Joey Barton said. How can anybody be chill with a 3-0 loss to Fulham? I am. But it depends on how you feel about the current state of the club. Because I'm looking at the previous 5 years, and I've been the most miserable I've ever been following Spurs. So this season, I know what I really want, which is the ownership out, isn't going to happen. That you just can't get rid of billionaires overnight like that. So it's a case of having a look at, can this manager overcome the handicaps he's going to face at the club? And I thought to myself, if he's going to do it, he's going to need 3 years to do it. And I'm not going to be on his back about it for the whole season. So I went with Jim on the first 10 games and just on the hype train, on the Ange train. We're going to win the league. We're going to win everything. Loving it. Fun times. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when these bumps in the road did come, and I was fully expecting them to come, so same as most people were, it hasn't affected me this season. I'm not angry like I used to be. The last season actually broke me as a fan. I stopped watching football. I just didn't care anymore. Now, I think I've lost my love for the club, to be honest. I like to see us do well, of course, but it's not the be-all and end-all for me anymore.
You're in the same position I'm in, Kuva.
Yeah.
You're in
if it goes bad, just put a movie on, get something nice to eat. It just doesn't matter anymore. I'm hoping Ange manages to rekindle all of that for me. I think he will. I think we've got the right manager, but I'm not expecting miracles. I'm not expecting suddenly win the league in his first season. And it's like, we're in 5th. We're doing all right. I think just let him build. Hopefully the club matches up to what he needs in the summer. That's the big one for me. It's not a result against Fulham that's shaping the future. It's what we do in the transfer market. We're a mile off having that full fleshed out squad where you can interchange players without having a huge drop in standards. That's what we're all looking for. I think what people said, Celtic, he could do it in 2 years. I think it's going to take longer in the Premiership because I think you have to buy better quality players to have that kind of impact.
Managers as well, Kuva.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Bob actually has a really good point. I think the reason you see more of the overreaction is because Tottenham are a bigger football club. We have got more fan channels. You're seeing, like, for example, Wolves FI that goes in the chat says there's only about 3 Wolves YouTubers, but there's hundreds of Tottenham YouTubers. There are loads of Villa YouTubers. Bigger clubs have more social media presence because they have more fans. So you might also see the same reaction from Newcastle fans, but because they've only got like a few channels, you'll see less of it. It's the social media age. West Ham fans would probably go mental if they lost 4-0, but you only really see it from West Ham fan TV and the other West Ham, because we are a bigger club and we've got more channels. You see more of the reaction.
By the way, bit of trivia for you. Which Premier League club has the lowest YouTube following?
Oh.
Luton.
No, it's Burnley because they don't have electricity up there. Stupid Burnley. Disrespect them because they aren't going to watch this.
Martin, what do you think about the whole reaction? Do you think it's been over the top?
Yeah, I'm one of them. Like, I sat there and watched it. It was on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a sulker. I'll totally admit I'm a sulker. I'm like, the missus sits there like that, and I'll sit there, and then I just have to shut off. I don't sit and watch all the reaction. I can't do it. If we win, I'm all hyped up, but I have to just process, come away. Next day, you get your head together. But, you know, it's I sat there and watched it. For me, the 3-0 ain't the be-all and end-all. It's the manner of away we lost, because we've come from we scored Villa when we needed to. We showed them playing off the park. Everyone think, oh, little old Fulham, it's a walk in the park. It's not. They're a good side. They got good players. And I sat there watching it. First 5 minutes, bop, 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 knocking it all around. You know, possession based, but not doing nothing with it. The minute they got the ball, they went bang, straight on the attack, and they're off. And it was like the football with purpose. We had the football for having football's sake, and that was the difference. I just think. And then it's one of them. Once they can't turn it around in their heads. I don't know. They just, you know, we've been the second half team. Oh yeah, but when you're 2-0 down, it's hard because they ain't got to change the way they play. They've got our number on that day, and you don't always win. It's as simple as that. You know, better teams come across, and this is the Premier League. Do
you think Tottenham fans underestimate too many teams? I asked this on my show.
Yeah.
I think sorry, Jimbo, this is a pop at you, unfortunately, my friend. You say we're going to beat every team 3-4-0.
Everyone does.
I ask every single week.
Get down there and hold him back, Kate.
Are we underestimating? Are we
catching strays?
I think there is an arrogance here. We're a big club. We've got a big stadium. We're better than everyone else.
Jim took him out.
Jim done it.
Do we underestimate teams too much? Yeah.
Can I come in defence of Jimbo?
Go on, Ellie.
I want to defend my other man. Right.
How many you got?
Right, Jimbo. Right, he bought his ticket on the Spurs Express, not the Orient Express, because that's Leighton Orient. Right, and he had the first class ticket. He was drinking his champagne, enjoying the football, enjoying everything about the experience of that Spurs Express. We had Ange in the driving seat as well. He trusted Ange. And then suddenly a ticket master come over to him and said, sorry, sir, you got the wrong ticket. Right? So basically, you know what? When you're a Spurs fan, right, it's in you to want your club to win every single match, right? Like any other fan, right? But because me and Jim come from a different era where we won things and we saw things that were fantastic at our club, we put our club on a higher pedestal. Now, we've got to get back to that higher pedestal, right? Because we've dropped down, right? And we are the 5th biggest spenders and we're 5th in the league, which equates, right? And we're trying to do the right thing by playing progressive football. But you need technicians all around the park to do that. And we just haven't got it at the moment. So like Cooper said, the board, and like Ben says, the board have to back this manager for his project to work. Otherwise, it's going to fall by the wayside. And Jim's not wrong by loving his club and saying,
of course.
he's not wrong because he wants us to win 4 or 5-0 and he'll say it. You know, he'll get it out there. So sometimes he's right because we beat Villa 4-0.
No, once he's right. Once all season.
A broken clock is right twice a day, isn't it? It's,
Exactly.
Certainly put me in the mud.
Well, it depends how you break it, really,
Jim's
doesn't
an
it?
optimist, isn't he? Jim's
He
an
is,
optimist.
yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm what?
An
You're an
optimist,
optimist.
darling.
Yeah, but the thing is, I do say big scores because that's what I want to happen, right? And I believe that we can beat any team. But I don't have a meltdown when we lose. Do you ever see me meltdown, Kate?
No.
Never.
you
I
don't.
never melt down. I think, right, dust down, go on to the next one, we win 4-0.
Yeah.
That's it.
Big up Donna Cullen with a super chat, and she's eyeing up Martin Knightsbridge over there.
Drop me out, Donna. I've seen what you're like. Drop me right out.
Drop me right out.
I don't want no wild ones, Martin, and all that. Drop me out.
What about my hobby? He's handsome as well.
Yeah, go play with him.
Martin just went full Cockney gangster on Donna.
He did.
Cullen.
I thought Danny Dyer was in the house.
Give it here, son. Well,
Yeah.
shut your ass.
Kate, not with his side parting though. He looked horrendous.
Yeah, he did.
I was laughing my head off.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I agree in the fact that, Ben, you're right. Every time you ask Spurs fans what the score is going to be, majority do say 3-0, 3-1, 4-0. But I think that's blind optimism.
That's hope.
Yeah, hopium. I think it's hopium.
We only need 7 more points to equal last season's tally because we finished with 60 points. We're currently on 53, aren't we? So we only need 7 more points, and we've got 10 games to do it. So we're way ahead of schedule in terms of point collecting.
Yeah,
we just got to get the board, like all put pressure on the board, because if you don't put pressure on all aspects of Spurs, right, they will just go along and do whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Alex. It's only your Kate stream. Nobody really cares anyway. Nobody's watching. Shit. Sorry.
He's such a bad man.
I said it at the beginning of the season. This manager needs to be backed more than any other manager in the history of ENIC. And I still believe that. Because if they do not back him...
The way you come in, sorry to cut you off, Ben, but the way you come at the beginning of the season saying, it's my way or the our way, I'm doing this, I wouldn't have come here if I had this. He's got to be putting that pressure on that team above him to go, I need this, I need this. Whether he gets it, but he's got to be doing it for himself, I believe. Yeah.
I think if they don't back him, I think he will walk.
Yeah.
I can see him walking before the first game of the season if he doesn't have at least 3 of the 6 players he needs. I think he's gonna. I think he will do it, because unlike Antonio Conte, for example, we said the same thing about him. Even though he did actually walk, he wasn't sacked. They parted ways. It wasn't a sacking.
Or with a big firework explosion and everything else.
Although he walked, technically, he needed to make money because he was scammed in Italy, and you can look up all the times he was scammed on the internet. This is a thing. He got scammed by a world famous. He got scammed for about 24 million.
Yeah,
Ange has only got 5-6 years left of his career. He's not a spring chicken. He's going to want to win. If he doesn't get the players he wants, I think he will walk.
Who got scammed?
Conte got scammed in Italy.
Yeah, 20-odd million.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's why he wanted such a big pay, such a big wage. I can see Ange Postecoglou leaving before the start of the season, because remember, there is a bigger fish to fry on the horizon. There is a football club that Ange grew up watching when he was a kid that needs a manager this year. I can see Ange going to the board and saying, if you don't give me the players I need, I'm going to manage Liverpool. And Liverpool would quite like to have Ange for a short period of time to keep on Klopp's work before they can then find a spiritual successor to Jurgen Klopp. I think that there is very much in that possibility.
I know you say that Ange has only got 4 or 5 or whatever years you said, but I mean, Ancelotti's 64 and he don't look any any. He don't look like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Ancelotti's a red herring. Like a Wenger, like a Alex Ferguson, he's one of the greatest 10 managers to ever walk the earth. And I think he's such a good manager that he can hire coaches that will push his way of football, and all he has to do is be the brains of the operation. Whereas I think Ange, because of the way he works, of not keeping the same, he doesn't have his lieutenants like Sir Alex Ferguson had his lieutenants. Mourinho has his lieutenants. When he moves to different clubs, he has a whole new coaching team. So I don't think Ange can do what Ancelotti does.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Mr. Box Office coming in with Kuva, you're so funny, bro. I'm going to start this question with Queen Ellie. This would be a nice controversial one. Well, not really, but Ellie, what are your thoughts on the fact that Tottenham have announced we're going to Australia after the season ends in May, just to go and play Newcastle in a friendly?
I've got mixed emotions over it because I'm thinking we're going to go all the way just to play one match. I mean, if you're going to do an Australian tour, give the Australians something to look forward to and have a whole tour there. But they're going to South Korea instead because that's very lucrative, obviously, with the money rolling in from South Korea over Sony and everything. So I just think it's a waste of space, to tell you the truth. It's not worth the Australian fans, but they can watch us anytime. They don't. What are they going to watch? One match? That's not going to fulfil them with anything brilliant, is it? So I just think it's a non-necessity to go that way.
Yeah, Jimbo, what are your thoughts
on the tour?
Yeah, well, not the tour, the game in Australia.
The game, yeah. I don't know. I can't make it out. It's just to me, I just think it's unfair on the players. You know, I know they earn massive money and all that, but let them have a break because we've got if there weren't the Euros and the Copa America, I don't think I'd have much to say on it. But I just think that to take them out there, it's a long way to go and a long way back for one game. I don't get it really, Kate. I don't. But it is what it is. We can't do nothing, can we?
Yeah. AJ, any thoughts on it, mister? Oh, excuse me.
They're not stupid, are they? The board, the owners, they know how to make money. And what they're doing is going, what were the Australians like? We've got more Australian fans now because of Ange. They want to see Premier League football. So let's give them a Premier League match with Ange, the centerpiece, that, you know, everyone's going to flock to see it. It's a money-making PR scheme. That is all it is. That is as simple as that. That is all it is. Nothing else. And then what is it? Would you say we're off to South Korea afterwards? They're basically printing money at that point, aren't they? So yeah, it's just our board doing what they do. And we will never, in my opinion, win anything of note. We will never be a successful team as long as the people that are in charge of our club remain in charge of our club.
They could have at least set it up against the team we knew we'd beat. so they get some glory out of it.
We beat them 4-1. We beat them 4-1 in the league.
Ben, what's your thoughts? Not that I don't already know.
It's in the words of Brian, he said in his video the other day, it's another proof that the club is just a walking contradiction. They constantly tell us how they're trying to improve the environment. We had the first ever game that was carbon net neutral, the first carbon net this, the first carbon net that. How great it is for the environment. We use lights in the stadium, which are great for the environment. Great for the environment this, great for the environment that. And then at the first opportunity, they fly to Australia to play one game. And they're sponsored by the Ineos Grenadier, which is a fantastic car, by the way. If you can afford one of them, get one over a Range Rover. Fantastic cars. But we're sponsored by a 4x4, which are statistically the worst polluters on the planet. I'm agreeing with you. If they're going to Australia, play 5, 6, 7 games there against local Australian teams, build up the Australian fan base. build it up. Instead of playing one game, and as AJ said, it's a money-making scheme because they know they're going to go to Melbourne, where there's a big Ange fan base because that's where he's from. Yeah. They're going to have 100,000 in that arena, probably charging £70 a ticket. It's a money-making scheme, and it's a way to legitimise Newcastle, who have financial fair play issues, and they're trying to get to a point where they can start spending their millions, and that's how they do it.
He's asleep, Kate.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
It's an insult to the
honey,
Australians.
yeah, it's okay. I'm on stream now. Kate finally let me in. I'll talk to you in a bit, babe. Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bobby.
How are you? How's everybody?
How's Gillian? Is she all right?
She's all right, actually. Tart won't stop calling, but such is life.
Go on, Ellie. What was you going to say, sorry?
I just said it's an insult to the Australians to go and just play one bloody match. At least, like Ben said, at least give them 6 or 7 matches.
Yeah.
And do it with local teams. Like he could have played Brisbane Roar, for example. Where, you know what I mean? And all those fans who loved Ange as a manager when he was there, and I believe he was a player as well. So I just think it's ridiculous. Sorry.
Yeah.
Someone's calling someone. Are you calling Gillian, Kiva?
I'm just calling Bobby back.
Oh, okay.
They called me a minute ago.
Is Bobby calling Gillian?
Hey, Coops.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, mate?
You're good.
Yeah, I'll go on, Kate.
Yeah, I'm going to help her too as well, but she's not letting me in for something.
They're such naughty boys.
Just take them out,
naughty boys.
Yeah, take them out. Don't let them back in.
Behave, you naughty boys.
The best part is my phone's actually on silent, and my phone's on silent, and I only heard the ringer because Cooper said, "Oh, okay."
Martin, what are your thoughts on this trip to Australia to play one match?
It's a PR thing, isn't it? It's just to capitalise and keep the Australian fans involved. We've seen a big influx online. There was obviously there anyway, but now it's becoming more prominent. There is a lot of Australian fans interacting on all the Spurs channels and that. They've obviously worked out. It's a good money spinner. Let's get hands over. It's just such a long way for the one thing, as you say. And if it was at the beginning of the pre-season tour and they would have done 5 games, no one would be making a problem for it. But we've got the Euros, so does that mean all the players that are going are not going, but they're going to want them to go?
It's going to be a bunch of kids, Martin, isn't it?
They're the big names.
They're going
to want Sonny, and they're going to want this and that. So if you're going there with your B team, it's not going to work anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
Listen, our players are playing 41 games. Some of the other teams, they're playing 60-odd games. So they're 20 games fresher. So one game in a week in Australia ain't a bad thing, is it?
No, I suppose.
Give me £100 a week. I'll go and play 90 minutes another week in Australia.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? Give me £100 a week, son.
Am I that bad?
It's just funny. You sound how I don't think I sound, but how people up here think I sound.
You sound like me, Kate. It's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I thought I was quite
I didn't
posh.
realise that Kate's like Ray Winston.
Kate.
Kate's like Ray Winston.
Do you know what?
Posh.
I'm from Kent, so I always thought it was quite posh till I moved up here, and everyone goes, "Oh, you're a Cockney," and it's like, no, I'm from Kent, but everyone just thinks I'm a Cockney, and that's it. So, Mr. Bobby Kay, anything you'd like to say about this, or anything we've talked about, or just stupid statements you want to come out with?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the last part of that there. You said Cockney like 3 times in one sentence. I don't know. Kuva actually brought up a very good point when we were talking about Werner earlier. I've actually been with the gym train of thought there where, high hopes, put on a Spurs kit. We always see the best. But it's blind optimism, isn't it? It's just you put on a Spurs shirt and we automatically get behind them, deservedly or not. It's kind of sad that I have to actually agree with everything he said, because I was listening to it and I'm just sitting there shaking my head going, how do you disagree with this? It's right. We've cast out garbage and brought in just a bit nicer garbage, and we're wondering why we're not getting the results we want. But again, I still think we're way ahead of where we're apparently supposed to be, and I'm still wearing my colors, and I'm still going to support my team, and I'm still going to cheer like, the maniac I am, and I'm going to tell my son that he's done a good job of being a Dyer supporter. This is just the world I live in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Ted Paul, I've seen you slag me off all the time on the terrace. You crack on, it's fine. I've got really thick skin, so it's fine. Cooves, any thoughts on the flying and over to Australia to play the Geordies?
Yeah, I'm aware of how it works.
Oh, yeah, that's a play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. What did you do on the terrace?
That looked like an arm.
Yeah.
That's
how
what
it
she
works.
said.
You just have to flap them really quick. Yeah. Obviously, I'm with Ben about the timing of it. I think it just seems really odd. I think if you go into Australia, you do it as part of a tour. Makes a lot more sense, a better usage of time. But then I thought about it in the more obvious way. On the beach, play the game there, have a barbecue out, few tins, lovely time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Barbecue on the beach with a bit of
I think the timing is so poor, though, isn't it, Kuva? The price increase. Again, it's the club not reading the room correctly. When they've got all this shenanigans going about, then they announce something and they know it's going to upset people because they know people are going to look at player welfare and people say, "Oh, they're not flying economy, are they?" Flying 24 hours in a plane is not pleasant, whether you've got a comfortable first-class seat or whether you're it's not pleasant going through that many time zones, even with the amount of caviar and Dom Perignon you're going to drink on Qantas. I think Qantas actually use LVMH for their champagne.
Yeah, 20 hours in a
Hi,
steel tube. Yeah, 20 hours in a steel tube inhaling other people's farts. That's
lovely.
isn't it?
It's not pleasant whether you're in first class or whether you're in coach class. It's difficult. If they're going to really give something back to the Australian fan base, play 5, 6, 7 games and play against local
At least
teams.
3, not 5, 6, or 7. That's even a bit of a stretch. If you're going to play, what are they going to be there for 8
Tottenham
weeks?
with Ange Postecoglou coming into a local community,
This year.
it's going to create so much buzz, so much business, all the love, those little Australian kids that have never watched a football team can go to the game. Again, if the prices are reasonable, you build bigger fan bases. It's like what Neil Warnock used to do. His team,
That's what Scott Munn's been brought in for.
No, what Scott Munn's been brought in for is Scott Mann has been brought in to buy other football clubs because that's what he did at Manchester City when he was in their City's Asia division. His job was to buy other football clubs. That's why Scott Mann is here.
Okay,
I thought he was here to basically expand the market through Asia.
Can I just ask Mick Dundee if you're going to go to the game, the Newcastle Spurs game when they're out there?
Yeah, I'm pleased for the Australia fans that get to go and see them, but it just seems bonkers to go all that way to play 90 minutes. And it's purely money, obviously, purely money.
You have the NFL doing it now too. Okay? The NFL, the American football, they're traveling the world. We've got games going on and regular season games as well at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They're traveling around the world. It's just globalization of pretty much every sport. You're trying to include more people.
That's a 5-hour flight. 5 hours is the same as a New Yorker going to Los Angeles. That is not really a difference between flying from UK to Australia, which is a 20.
But going LA to England is not a 5-hour flight. What are you talking about?
9 hours.
It can be it can be 7 to it can be 5 to 7 hours.
I think it's 8 to 10 hours because it's 7 from us, man.
But it's depending on the wind. You can have a faster flight depending on the wind direction,
or slower. It's
or slower. But that is. Some parts of America, it's an 8-hour drive to the next town. That's the thing. But
oh my goodness, are we going to have this conversation again? It only took me 6 hours to get you there. I told you we're just going to go up the street.
Yeah. But it's 24 hours and having to stop at in Singapore, big up Changi Airport, is a good thing. It's a good thing. But it's difficult. 24 hours on a plane is a lot of time.
Yeah, it's not something that appeals to me in the slightest. I'm not going to lie. I know Jim wants to go to Australia sometime and see his grandson, of course, which I've said.
I've got a theory though. I've got a theory about all this. We lose heavily, one of our biggest defeats of the season. Spring the thing about all the ticket price increase, then announce that we might sign Timo Werner on a long term thing at the end of the season, and then do the Australia trip. I think Levy's tactic is if you throw enough crap at the fans at the same time, you can't concentrate on just one individual item.
Yep.
So it's a smoke screen of turds.
Yep.
That and he just doesn't give two hoots about the fans.
No, I think Kuva's spot on. It's an
doesn't
overwhelming of shit, and then you got to pick out which thing you want to get mad about, because now instead of having one thing to target and concentrate all your negative energy into and all your frustration and anger into, you've got 10 different things. Yeah. Genius. I think it's honestly credit where credit is due. This guy makes Dr. Evil look like
it's Donna Cullen. Donna Cullen is a marketing genius at that. That's why she's part of the football club. That's what she's brilliant at.
That's why she can afford to send super chats, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Every single time we lose a big North London derby, what happens? 20% off in the club shop. Every time.
Yeah, they've been throwing shit at us for 23 of the 24 seasons because we've only won one cup in 24 years. So that's plenty of shit.
It's what I said the other day, Ellie. It's been so long since we won a trophy. I hadn't even gone through puberty yet. That's how long ago it was.
No. And you know what
That's how bad it is.
You have started
what the
now,
worst
though,
thing
right?
is?
Yeah.
Arsenal and Chelsea, the two clubs, even West Ham have won one trophy. It's a sorry state of affairs. That's what
Martin, can I ask you a question? Well, what are your? Because obviously there's certain people on the panel whose opinions of Daniel Levy I know. What are your thoughts on Daniel Levy?
I can see both sides of the argument. I'm one of them that I don't know where I sit with it. I'm not a staunch Levy out, but I can see why everyone is. I'm not an inner because you can see what he's done now. You know, I just don't know. I don't care about one strongly enough to sit that side.
Yeah.
You know, being over here. If I was there, living over there, and going every week, I think I might be a bit more. But sitting here over here on the periphery and only going a few times, all the real politics of things doesn't really get me. And like you said, when Ben says the 20% discount in the shop, I don't get to see that either because I'm not at the shop. So things don't bother me that much like that. But I think if I was there, season ticket holder, and you're spending your money, as I say, like, you know, it costs me a lot more to go when I do go. But that's not the club's fault. So I'm buying it for a third party, and I've got to get flights and a car and this, that, and the other. So the package for me is bigger. But, you know, as I say, I don't want to sit on the fence, but I'm going to have splinters in the arse on this one. I'll see both sides and get both arguments, you know?
Yeah. Big up Lee Smithy Smith. Says, not sure I'm going to make it, Kate. I'm helping the Duchess sing, and then he's singing the Richie song, as always. Thank you for the super chat, my lovely. AJ.
Has he sent you any pigeon porn today?
Yes, he has. I've already had some. And last night. AJ, are you a staunch outer? Are you an inner? Or are you a somewhere in betweener?
Oh, in, out, shake it all about. As a businessman, what he has done for the club from a business point of view is incredible and can't really be denied. But from footballing perspective, I think he's shit. Like we haven't made, and I heard the discussion. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before, and it got quite heated between two people on this panel. But I saw both sides of it, and I don't think it's entitlement to want your team to be competing and winning things, because I think that the finances prove that those teams that spend the most are the teams that are more successful. And Tottenham are always under this ownership. We're the nearly men. We're nearly there. We're almost there. We're just about hanging on by our fingernails. And I think if Daniel Levy, Enoch, Lewis, if everybody put the same energy into making us more competitive on the pitch as we are in the world of business, I think we would see a return. I think we would definitely see trophies. So, from a footballing perspective, I'm definitely the regime needs to change. But what our club has become in terms of stability, financial stability, can't really, in my opinion, be argued. So, if I was pushed, I'd have to say everyone needs to go.
I'm the same. I'm kind of on where.
Part of sorry for interrupting you, Kate, but that's part of the genius of Levy. He has told Tottenham fans those are the things we have to care about: business, spreadsheets, concerts. Instead of doing what other clubs think about, which is, I want to win a trophy this year. I don't care if we have no money under Irving Scholar, but what I can tell.
The silence is golden.
Did you just mute Ben? Jimbo?
He always does it because he knows I'm right.
Naughty.
One thing I can say about Irvine Scholar being a terrible owner of the football club, a night in 1984 when we won a UEFA Cup. How fantastic was that? People still talk about it. That's what people do. They don't remember a profit and loss account. They don't remember an Excel spreadsheet. They don't remember that we've got the biggest screens in Europe. They don't remember that beer comes up from the bottle. We want something tangible. And with we need something tangible to say, we remember this. And the best thing is Manchester United, because Manchester United fans say how awful they've got it. In 25 years, when they've won more trophies than us in the last 25 years, they're not going to be saying, oh, look how we were in debt. They're going to say, remember those trophies we won? Remember when we won the UEFA Cup against the odds? Remember when we won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal? Remember when we won the Carling Cup? Remember when we won this cup? And we're going to say, well, at least we got an Excel spreadsheet. That's part of the genius of Levy. He has taught us we have to care about business and not about winning football trophies, because it is, at the end of the day, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah, and when I was on the protest line, right, there was this old geezer, I can't remember his name, but he's really, really old. And he goes to me, look over there, Ellie. And I said, yeah. And he goes, what can you see? And I said, Beyonce. And he goes, do you want to see Beyonce advertised? I said, no, I want to see Jimmy Greaves. I want to see Glenn Hoddle. I want to see Harry Kane. I want to see everything Spurs. They can have the concerts there, but don't bloody advertise them outside our ground. There's no need for it, because people in Tottenham don't want to see that either.
They can't afford to see it, Ellie. They can't afford to see it.
See, I'm kind of with you. I am where AJ is. I think Jim and I both are. Where on the business side, I think the guy's a genius, and I want him at the club for that reason. But I want the footballing side to be handled by somebody else. Because I think the club would be a worse place without Daniel Levy. And you could argue and say, but the football wouldn't. And you might well be right. But I just think what he's done for the club, I think a lot of fans kind of take it for granted, really. What he's done with the stadium, and I know trophies is what we all want, I know, but I agree with this as well. When we win, it's not because of him, but when we lose, it's all his fault. That's just so true.
Kate, this is the for me, right? I've been a Spurs fan a long time, and for me, this is a really big year, because I don't think he's got any more excuses now, because the money's been coming in for a few years now. The stadium's been finished 4 or 5 years, and they've got a good bank balance now, and they've got everything they wanted going on there, NFL concerts. So this is the year he's got to back the manager. And I don't think we'd get a better manager back than Ange, personally. I love his football and his philosophy. And I just think this is a massive year. And if he doesn't back Ange this year, I will be on the other train, because I don't think we can make any more excuses for him. What he's done for the club is second to none, in the sense of making us so stable as he's made us. We're always in the top 6, apart from we finished 8th, all right? But 9 times out of 10, we're in the top 6. We're a very stable club now. But this year, he has to back Ange, and I believe he will. I think he will back him.
I saw a stat on that. Just before you go, Ben, I saw a stat. We haven't improved, Jim. our league status. It's only over the last 7 we did, but the 17 years before that, we didn't improve our league status.
Yeah, but recently we have done, Ellie.
Yeah, recently we have.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
I don't look back, Ellie. I look forward.
But that's the problem with Tottenham
Right.
fans, though, Jimbo. And this is
And
my
don't say
point.
that, Ben. Ben, don't say that, right? It's not the problem with Tottenham fans, right? What the way I wish to live my life is I don't like to look back at bad things that have happened, right? And we've had a lot of shit with Tottenham, and all of us are fucking, like Kuva said earlier. I was on the last year. I was in a position I didn't even want to switch the telly on when they were on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've got good feelings coming back now. So I prefer to look forward than look back.
Like, for example, I grew up and I had my uncle and my dad would always talk about the glory days, the glory days, the glory days, the glory days, the glory days. And I'm looking about someone that's 28 years. I'm saying, what glory days? I can't see them.
Yeah, but that's.
I think it's jealousy from the younger fan base. Like, they want to have what you guys had.
Yeah,
They want to
true.
see us have a day out at White Hart Lane after winning a European trophy. They want to see us play at Wembley and beat Chelsea in an FA Cup final. They
Well,
want
have
to
a
see
bit
us
of faith
win
from
the
now, Ben, and it might happen, mate.
it won't. I just don't see it, Jimbo. Because
I've
you
seen
have to-
glory times at Tottenham, and I think we'll be seeing them again in the next few
I
years.
hope so, Jimbo, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And until we start putting footballing matters first, I don't see it.
Well, do you not think since Ange comes in, as Ange has been in, that we've gone forward?
Well, in terms of what
In terms of the way they've bought players in, we've gone forward.
We've bought players better.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying.
we-
All you can do now is wait for the next few windows to see if that carries on. It's no
I
good
can
keep
say
looking
one
back
good
and
window out of 48.
yeah, but it's no good, Ben. This is what I can't get through to you. Don't interrupt me for a minute, right? You can't keep looking back at the shit, right? Start saying, right, we've had, since Andrew's come in, we have moved forward, right? The football's got better. We've brought in better personnel. He's brought in people that are doing the football now. So instead of looking back at the shit and thinking, oh, well, this happened, that happened, we can all do that in our lives because there's not one person on this panel that's not had shit in their lives further back. But look forward. And look forward to the good stuff that's going to come. And I believe now, right, with the structure how it's working, that we're gonna be better going forward. And if you believe that, and it might happen, mate. That's all I'm saying.
You've got to use past behaviour to predict the future.
Well, let's hope that he's changed, and I think that he will. I think he's going to change, and I think he's going to back Ange.
I hope so, Jim, but I just don't see him changing. He's old enough to know that older businessmen, especially ones that have been successful doing the things they've been doing them monetarily wise, I don't think he's going to change.
I think you both got perfectly good points. Ben, you're right saying you use the past to predict the future, but if you're at the point where you are changing it, you need to then allow time for that change to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't. We are not going to know how this new little project or rebuild or whatever you want to call it, that so many people hate the term for it, but effectively that's what it is, whether we like it or not. It is a rebuild. We aren't going to know the real extent of that without a couple of transfer windows going. A couple of summers for me. At the end of this summer, I will have a clearer idea of where we're going with the club. The reason I'm so optimistic right now is because for the first time in my lifetime, the club in the summer just gone did things that I've wanted all along. It's the Ajax way of doing things. You get the youth team playing the way the first team does. So that style of football runs throughout the club. Now we're going from playing, I won't even say it was Conte ball. I won't even say it was Mourinho ball because we just didn't even reach that. We didn't allow them time or provide the players for them to do that. So all I saw was this complete mess of football where we're trying to scrape results, but there's no long-term future. I didn't see where we're going to go with any of it. It's just like treading water. For the first time I see we're now abolished the wage cap on the youngsters so we can bring in top quality talent from abroad to add to that academy. Actually look to push it along. I'm hoping we stop signing dross players to pad out the squad and allow some of those youth team players to get into the first team squad now. Meanwhile, we cherry pick really good players to add to the first team. If we're doing that in the summer, I'm going to be totally in on this project. I think Levy's actually turning a corner here. But like you, Ben, at the moment, I don't believe it. I've got to see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to see it to believe it.
It's for me, the whole season has been what Jim likes to do as well. Leap of faith. I've got nothing to back up that feeling. I'm just going to go with it because I know what it's like being miserable about the team for 5 years. And I've just refused to do it this season. I'm all in on Ange because he's the kind of manager I can get behind. And that's it. I'm not going to back it up, just feeling for the club and hope. That thing that kills us all.
I was saying to my brothers the other day, Coops, right? I was saying, who would have thought Spurs would have a Greek manager? I couldn't believe it. You know, that's a miracle in itself, right? And he's come in like a breath
Only
of
if you're
fresh air.
Greek.
He's come in like, right, I know I'm Greek, so I'm pulling the Greek plug. Right, so he's coming like a breath of fresh air, like you said, Coof. He's making us play all throughout the club the same way. So when those players come up, they know what to expect. So now we need Levy to keep him in the job. Don't bow to fan pressure, right? Keep him in the job. Like Alex says, very rightly, he doesn't trust the board to do it. But if they do it, we're going to see progression. If they don't do it and they go back to square one, we're going to be in the same boat, I'm afraid. So I'm just praying that they do it and they do back the manager and give him what he wants.
I do honestly think, you know, with the way it's gone with the transition with Ange and that, this is his one time to show the fans that he does care and he puts it out. If he doesn't do it this summer, we're like usual, we're linked with this player, that player, and end up with, you know, someone from Co-op and not Marks and Spencer's. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to change. I think next year, I'm not using Co-op. You can use any supermarket you want. But if it doesn't happen this year, I think we won't be so optimistic going into the season. I think there will be a bit of a backlash. I think he's had this season, he's done the bits right, and he's got a couple of things. He's given Andy's changes and that. But now is the one time you're going to get given to go for it. If he doesn't and he plays it cautious, then nothing's changed. And I think there will be a bit of a meltdown.
If Levy doesn't back him this summer, right, Levy's got to be as completely thick as shit because it's going to be just terrible for everybody. You know, there's no excuses if he doesn't back him this summer. He can't make any excuses. You know, and I will be straight on the Levy out train if he doesn't back him this summer. But I'm willing to give him.
This is it for him. I think, you know, when I think if he doesn't get it right this summer, I think a lot more will turn because we've seen the chance to move forward and go what everything we've hoped for. People like Ben who've never seen anything. Just, you know, here we go. This is your one chance. And I really do think it is his one chance. And I don't think he'll be given any slack.
Yeah, but Martin, I think that's why, honestly, that they're trying to push out the old fan base.
Yeah.
You look at what they're trying to do. They are trying to get rid of all of us that have an opinion regarding our club and have seen Enoch from the day they've come in to now and what they've achieved or their lack of achievement as well. You know, like everybody said, footballing end of it, very, very disappointing. Business end of it, impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah.
If I had a business to run, I wouldn't doubt, you know, I'd want Levy up there. This guy knows how to make money. And if I'm one of those people that's sitting on,
wouldn't you say the primary objective of a football club is to win at football? In which case, he'd be a pretty bad businessman, wouldn't he?
That's what I'm saying. As a businessman, financial end of it, he's fantastic. A football man, no, not at all. Zero.
But yeah, he's about the business and not the football.
But that's why I think what they're doing now.
That plays football.
But that's why I think what they're doing now is this globalization of the brand that is Tottenham Hotspur over the last few years and the expansion of it. I think they're really trying to push us out. I think they're outpricing you guys that are there that are soon going to say, I'm not willing to pay this to go to the stadium. We've heard Ben, you know, gripe about for what, 80, 85 pounds you paid for your last ticket, Ben. And then what you're getting, the lack of one, the kosher options, food options, drink options, the lack of options basically for a predominantly Jewish supported club. and then there's no kosher option. So to me, it's saying right there
Not
that
that
I
that's the
don't care
problem,
about
though,
this
Bobby.
fan
Not-
base
they
that
don't have
exists.
to.
I'm worried about the new fan base that I'm going to try to get in. Let's get new young blood, and that has no expectations. It's easier to
Because they've never seen
satisfy
nothing.
somebody with
So
no expectation.
Then he can deliver the first trophy. He can be, whoa, look at me.
Oh,
I've
amazing!
got
How
that.
amazing will it be, Martin? Think about it. Somebody that's jumped on the bandwagon within the last 5 years, 7 years, even under
Yeah.
the Harry Kane era. Let's say
Yeah.
10 years, right? With the Harry Kane and Son era, let's go with everybody that's
But-
jumped on into that. Now, when they do, if they ever see us
If they deliver, yeah.
something other than a Tiger Cup and an Audi Cup, how elated they're going to be.
Yeah, he's
And
going
the
to
level
love
of
it.
success and joy.
Bobby, you missed my point though. It's the point was we are currently separating business from football, and I'm saying that's wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not
Everything should be
disagreeing with that.
directly driving that football team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're letting the club down. We've got it the other way round. We could actually go without a football team and
Yeah,
leave.
we are
wouldn't
an
really need
entertainment.
it.
We're an entertainment company that has a football team. Every
We're a
couple of years.
business
But Ben
that
already
plays football.
said that earlier, right?
Yeah.
But that's basically the way we've gone. Sorry, Mark.
I mean, Ian Ferguson's put a good point in, which is exactly right. Winning silverware is good for business.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Not for the
Not in-
financial side of it.
But that's if
No,
that's what your
no,
customers
because
are
that-
expecting.
You
Or
only
what?
get 100 grand for winning the Carling Cup, for example.
Yeah, but
I
it's-
would
it's-
love to win the Carling Cup.
It's not that. It's not that, Ben. It's the merchandise they will sell if we win something. People will be buying from the shop and ordering
Yeah.
online. You know, it'd be massive if we win a trophy. It's not what you win for the trophy. It's the after effect it has.
You get that with winning big trophies, though, Jimbo. But just to get what Manchester City did in particular is they won for like 6 years in a row. They always won the League Cup because the little cups they
Leads
turn
to
you
big-
into winners.
Yeah.
You need to win the little cups to be able to win the big cups. If we're only going for the big cups, we're going to fall short because we don't have them. We don't have the
Yeah, I
gumption
agree
to
with
be able-
that.
We've
I
never
agree
been
with
able. So we've got to win a Carling Cup. And Levy's going to say, why am I going to spend £100 million on players when I'm only going to win 100 grand by winning the Carling Cup? You've got to win. He's an accountant. He's a brilliant accountant, but accountants and sports don't work unless
But
they are.
if he won a trophy, Ben, if he won a Carling Cup, it might like ignite something in him, or is that just us living in hope
Yeah.
again?
as well.
It's what Steve Perryman said, wasn't it? About when we came up from the old second division after we'd been relegated, and we pushed and pushed and pushed, and we realised the only way we actually established ourselves was back in the big time was winning that first FA Cup in the 80s.
Yeah.
The first of two in a row. And Steve Perryman said that first one is the difficult one. You get over the line in that, it becomes an easier task after that.
Yeah.
You suddenly used to winning. So yes, definite proof in it as well. Just listening to the testimony of players.
That we got to the League Cup final as well that year, and we lost to Liverpool. So, yeah, I was just going to say, Levy's got it right on the business side, but we're in, like you said, Ben, we're in the business of football and Couva, right? We're supposed to be a football club. We're not a business club as such to make money for Enoch, because they're making a big wedge. And like Levy's the highest paid chairman, I believe. Right, and I hear people saying that, well, he deserves it for the business side, but he would get zero for the football side because he's produced zero. You know, like you're judged on what your business is, and he's in the business of football. He's supposed to make us a successful business club. Even Jurgen Klopp, right, he said, give me 4 years and I'll win something. And the first thing he wins is against us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? Then he went on to win the league championship, and he's won countless League Cups and FA Cups. So, and now he's just won a League Cup as well. Do you think Liverpool are going to rest on their laurels? They're still going for the league. They're still going to go for that Europa Cup because it's trophies. That's what their business is. Our business is not winning anything. But I agree with Jimbo as well. We've got to look forward, right? Because if you look back, it's a depressing 24 years we've been through.
Well, then look back further.
Yeah, go back to the glory days.
Just go back a bit further.
In regards to
Better,
Anthony's
apparently.
comment, The FA Cup is an occasion next best to Christmas Day. The FA Cup,
It's amazing, isn't it, Ben?
Tottenham
It's
Hotspur
amazing.
will not be, when we say we've got our Tottenham back, Tottenham will not be back until we've won the FA Cup. The FA Cup is the jewel in the crown for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Really
That was
is.
our trophy. And we are not a serious Tottenham Hotspur until we've won the FA Cup.
Yeah, but I'll take the Carabao Cup as well.
Yeah, I think that used to be the case with the FA Cup. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think it's been cheapened. I think the Champions League has ruined everything.
It is though, Cooper. I love the FA Cup.
I used to love it. It used to be a whole week of build up to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know it might sound weird, but I'd rather win the FA Cup because I loved it. You know, all the build up. It was fabulous, right? And then you go to the match. I'll go with all my family. It's absolutely fabulous. But the Champions League is played somewhere else. It's hardly ever played in England, right? And the only English teams that have done well in it are Man United and Liverpool and Chelsea. The rest of us, we never win it. So I'd rather win it. I know it's saying lower the expectations, but the FA Cup is magical to me. I love it.
You know what I think it is? It's because, number one, the prize money for the FA Cup is so crap compared to Champions League. But number two, the FA Cup used to be on the only game on telly. So everyone looked forward to it because you could actually watch a match. And now you can watch every bloody game there is going. Oh, yeah, Ben, I've set up a redirect. Are you going live now?
I'm going to jump off and prepare for it. You can go for another, a couple of minutes.
You got permission.
You can go for another 30 seconds.
That's what I say to
go over
Jim.
there and start before Ben gets there.
The FA Cup that's what I was raised on. My uncle said, I remember when I was 7 years old and we were 10 years old and we won the FA Cup against Chelsea. This is what football clubs are built on: silverware, not spreadsheets.
Yeah, but the craziness is we're sitting there and we're talking about what the FA Cup means to us and all that. It was fucking 30 years ago.
I was born.
We still talk about Ellie talks about what I did when I went now. Imagine if we'd won another 4 or 5 in that time. You know, we ain't got no right to think that. And this is what comes back to Jim's point and Ben's point are both right. That you look forward and to do that, but then Ben's point is, well, you look behind, and it's hard to have that optimism and think that when we've got to look back to in the 90s.
Yeah.
To just go, I remember that day at Wembley. I remember this.
This is also why I want to win the league title so much, because at the moment, if we win the FA Cup, it will still get used against us. Well, it's only a domestic cup.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
Like music gets me all day long.
Coover, if we win the league, Coover, if we win the league, they'll still say, "Oh, you was lucky."
And you've only won
Champions League, is it? Yeah.
No, or we win the league, we'll still have fans complaining that we didn't win it 3 games earlier.
Yeah, exactly. You can't please
I don't
everyone.
care. As long as we win one, I'll take whatever.
Exactly, that's
If
me.
we win the league, I'm going to be drunk for 2 months. It's going to be great.
I'm going to be streaming solidly 24 hours a day for 2 months with Coover and Jimbo, and we're just going to be drinking live and partying.
All of a sudden, she wants to join the first class train. Interesting. Yeah. I noticed how she booted me out of the park.
Thanks for coming on, Ben.
Yeah.
I'll finish in a couple of minutes, but I've got the redirect. See in a minute. First game I watched live on the telly, 81 Cup final, but was really treated. Got a replay. That weren't the final? No, that was at the 91 one with the Gaza free kick, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That was the semi-final.
Was this cover? But we tell them how it feels to be a Maple Leaf fan, and they haven't won shit since '67. What's Maple Leaf fan?
The Toronto Maple Leafs are the NHL hockey team here, and they haven't won the Stanley Cup, which is the only competition available for them since 1967, and they are one of the top 6 teams, which is one of the first 6 teams to develop the league. And they, historically, they were leading it, and then Montreal took over, and now they haven't won anything. You see it there, 60 years almost, right?
Yeah. Maybe
Sorry?
Maybe you're the bot.
Oh, I don't support them. I don't support the Leafs. But if you look at them, though, Kate, as coincidental or ironic as this is, however you want to say it, they have the exact same color scheme as Tottenham. They're run by a board, MLSC. We are ENIC. Profits before glory is what's pushed them as well.
Oh my
They
God.
basically get to the brink. So the way hockey works here is you have the 82 game regular season, get to the end, and the top 8 teams top 16 teams go on to the playoff round. And they maybe make it to the second round of the playoffs, and that's it. That's enough for the board. They generate so much money. It gets the fans
That's
all
it,
excited
top
and
four.
hyped up and everything. It's just like, exactly, Martin. That's what I was going to say. Same thing. Just same as getting top 4. Enough to satisfy the fans, get them all happy and pumped up for the next season.
Oh my God.
If we win the league, right, the first phone call I'm going to do is to Alex Ferguson if I can get his number. And I'll say, what was you saying, Alex?
If I can get his number, you just get the
He's
phone
probably
book.
seen
Ellie.
it
I'm
out by
sure
now.
it
He's
was
not going to
there.
remember what he said.
I was very good at getting numbers when I worked at the hospitality company. You know?
I wonder
No need
what
to
you was going to
explain
say
that,
then.
That's where I used my Mrs. Puddlebuck skills.
Did you say puddle butt?
This is Puddle
I'm
what?
not sure what she says.
Puddlebuck.
She did say it. She did say it,
Puckered
mate.
up. She's puckered up. Yeah, that's all
Oh,
right.
dear.
We heard it. We know what we heard. So dirty she is.
I meant
So bad.
puddled up.
Did Jim get pushed off the sofa? I didn't see Kate.
No, there was the Amazon was at the door.
How much shit does he order?
It's at the bottom of the sofa.
Ellie, thank you for coming on as always. When can we find you next?
Right, tomorrow with Chang on Talk and Ball and Eltel Cockerell. So, because Ash is away at a wedding, she's living it up. Yeah, so it's me and Chang tomorrow. So that'll be fantastic. And then after that, weekend, obviously, international football, isn't it? So,
Ellie, you're not on here tomorrow, no?
Oh, yeah. I'm with you as well. I forgot. Because you changed it, innit, from the Irish Hotspur to us.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you changed it from us to the Irish Hotspur, then back to us.
Yes.
You're a bit of a yo-yo, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah. It's all Dave's fault.
Yeah, I'm with you on you and Mia. That's
Yes,
it.
correct.
Is Bobby doing the show?
That's what I was just going to ask, Bobby. I know you're on tonight.
Yep. We'll be on in 4.5 hours. We're
what
going to
about
do our
Cleveland
ATF
Kane?
show where we actually talk football. We've got a few things lined up here. We'll put
that'd
something
be
together.
good.
We do this brainstorm thing where we try to come up with 6 or 8 talking points and get through 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 2.
Yeah, well, don't like to push it any further than that.
Carry them over.
What about Cleveland the Kang? When's that back?
Actually, we've discussed this, and Kuva the Kang is going to become more of a specialty kind of show now.
Okay.
We're going to try to do football-related stuff, and then Kuva the Kang is going to be kind of our one off the rails thing. We said the holidays, right, Kuv? So the next one will be Easter.
So it's all gone stale, so we're going to have to limit the supply now. So you people,
Yeah, so we need to build the demand again, right? Yeah, we got to build the demand again, right? So
Excellent.
Coo Van the Kang. Coo Van the Kang.
there you go. So we got one junkie already. we just need the other ones to come out of the woodworks, like shaking and shit. Man, can I get some Kuva the Gang, man?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's look here. Okay.
We're gonna go cold turkey.
Yeah. Coos, you're obviously on tonight.
Reruns.
Have you got anything else planned coming up?
yeah, I'm on yours tomorrow, aren't I?
No.
Right, I'll see how it is then.
You was until you did the Gillian story, and now you're
Oh yeah,
banned.
but you asked Bobby.
Wow.
No, Bobby's not on either.
I'm not on anyways. Yeah, I only got it
I'll
now
swear
because
she
I already
asked
had
you,
the link.
didn't she?
Yeah, no.
No, it's me, Ellie, Mia, and Jimbo giving out all-time Spurs best Premier League 11 tomorrow.
Oh God, that's going to be a laugh.
Yeah, so
We've got a lot from.
Martin, did you manage to get your ticket for the North London Derby?
No, not yet. I've been trying, but I'm not paying that sort of money. I've got
No.
to come back. I think I'm coming back over next week or maybe the week after. So I'll see if I can get a ticket for them. But if not, I'll probably just come over and might just come and meet up with you. But
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I can't pay 400 quid for 90 minutes.
No, don't blame you.
I paid 5,000, Martin. You should be a real supporter.
Well,
Lee Smithy Smith is going to come, and he hasn't got a ticket at the minute, and he said he's going to come and meet us anyway. And he said, worst ways here, watch it in the pub.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I might bring over and do
Coaching
something like
horses, Antwerp
Yeah.
Arm.
Exactly.
They're all good. It's actually a good
Jimbo,
experience watching it in the pub.
Jimbo, when are you back?
Tomorrow.
Oh, you knew. I was going to go. I don't know. You knew. I was
It's good
I
surprised.
only knew because you
30
just told them
seconds
two
ago.
they're not on, and I am.
Oh, all right. So yeah, tomorrow 12:30. Obviously, we normally do Premier League preview, but there's no Premier League, so we'll be picking our top, our first 11 from the best Premier League players, Tottenham Premier League players. I don't know.
That's not a bad idea, Coop.
It's
We
gonna
should
be
do that
hard.
on the show later today before they do it tomorrow. Good idea.
I've got a question, Kate.
Go on.
Is Jim ready to take over if you have to suddenly leave to go on the bloody football terrace?
I got invited on there tonight, actually, but I can't do it.
Oh, wow.
But I did like your little story on Talk and Ball about me ditching the party and going on the football terrace. Very funny.
Talk and ball.
Yeah.
Not Talk and Ball. What's it called? Coovin the King.
So you can't even remember the channels when it's us little people.
It wasn't even
Yeah,
Coovin
exactly.
the King. It was the coffee company,
Look
wasn't
at-
it? It was Brew and
look
Butter.
Yeah, oh, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same, right?
Random
Brown guy,
riff,
white guy together. Who
Right,
cares?
right.
Yeah.
Big time cake. Big time cake.
I think she should be removed for that.
Good job, Jim. Good job, Jim.
Sorry.
Are you
You're not
though?
good in the
No,
middle.
not at all.
No.
Not at all. She's not
I am sorry.
Look at
Well,
that
no,
apology.
not.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So, like I
we
was
put in
saying, they
super
suck.
chats
No,
when
we
we're
don't
sorry.
care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but what you did is far worse than what I did.
Says
So
you.
there.
That's you. So how's your arm, Jim?
Things all relative.
How's your arm, Jim?
Yeah.
She
Anyway,
keeps
Yeah,
punching
exactly.
it, Bobby, to make it worse.
Yeah.
stay where you are, everybody, because you're being directed over to Ben. Thank you, Martin
Come on,
and Ellie,
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
That's
Yeah, I
my
suppose
pleasure.
thank you, Bobby and Coover as
I
well.
still love
Oh,
you,
we don't want you.
Tom.
Thank you. Big up, Jimbo.
Big up, Jim. Cheers,
Make sure
Rabbit
you go
from Jim.
over and subscribe to Free
All
Spurs
right, Jim,
Boys.
Martin.
And
The
yeah,
football terrace as well.
have a great afternoon, and yeah, see you
Oh,
tomorrow.
is there going to be a launch of Jimbo TV?
Maybe.
Could do the widescreen work. Oh, wait, Jimbotron.
Jimbotron. Nice.
As always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
Come on, you
you
Spurs.
Spurs.